Hey guys, thanks for tuning into another video. I'm going to try to keep these going as I make progress on the car. I also appreciate everyone's merchandise orders. Those have been shipping all week, and I think the last of the orders are going out this week. I do have some other stuff available if you want to check out the website. There's shirts, hoodies, posters, die-cast cars, and some other things, stickers, and I should be able to ship those fairly quick. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. So I made a little progress today while the kids aren't home. I'm trying to get these fenders off so I can get that door off. That way I can jack it up and see if I can make it roll. The tires popped and the suspension might be tweaked. And actually, these are 17s that I bought that didn't come with the car, and I actually have the 15s that came with it that I'm going to try to put on so I can make it roll a little better. Same with this fender. This suspension really got pushed back, so I'm going to have to straighten some stuff out. There's the hood taken off. Found some throttle body bolts. They were laying in the pan. I stuck them back in here, but it looks like they didn't have much threads in them to begin with, so that's probably why they tore out so easily. All right, got the door and the fender off. Sitting right here. Probably be a good ornament for a man cave. Part of the door is still attached to the hinge because they couldn't get it off, but the rocker, I mean, I'm not a body guy, but it doesn't look that bad. I feel like it could even be repaired by somebody that knows what they're doing. It might have gotten pushed in a little bit, but not terrible. Same with this area here. I have to take the other side off to compare to what it looks like because I've never seen this part, but that doesn't look horrible. The worst part's gonna be this. I don't know if somebody can fix that or if that just needs to be cut and replaced. All right, got this side off. There's the fuel cell. The wiring honestly doesn't look too bad. It got hot, but not for long, and the quality of the harness kind of protected it. Suspension here is definitely bent. This part looks pretty good. I was worried about this harness, and I think most of it's fine. The suspension height harness is a little melted. My coolant overflow hoses got charred, but otherwise not too bad. So I took the other side off. This is the side with the bent wheel, and this lower portion's bent down, and this arm here is about broken in half. So that's what's tweaking this entire suspension back. But as I guessed, this wiring here is just dirty, but nothing's really burnt because it's got DR25 everywhere. The worst is like the fuel tech suspension height sensor got charred, but that looks to be the worst of it so far. All right, well, got some stuff off as I showed you earlier. Got the car in 4 dollies. These, I think I already mentioned, but are the 15-inch wheels that came on the car that I didn't really like because they look like beach balls. Those are the old ones. But this side looks okay. This side, I had to rig up some suspension stuff, slip that tube on so it holds up, but I think I should be able to roll the front then when I need to. But yeah, both fenders off, hood, door. Got a little more clarity here. So gonna try to get it up in a trailer and bring it to the shop on Monday where we can tear the rest of it apart, take the engine out, and assess the rest of the damage to it. And then once it's taken apart, take it to a frame machine that can actually measure it out and see what I'm working with.
Yeah, I did it on my Prelude. It was crazy to watch.
Hey, what's up with the lights on in that BMW?
If it wasn't for that,
Yeah, no. If it weren't for the rocker panel.
that, and then the one frame rail up here. That marker and that so tough, it wouldn't be so tough.
Did you put that thing in park, Dylan?
Which frame
That was up.
So as far as electronics go, before I take it all apart, everything for the most part still works. Obviously fan doesn't, that's destroyed, but main pump works. Lift pump was in the surge tank, so that doesn't work. The one headlight still turned on. I mean, we got dome light, obviously still working. Intercooler pump still works. Water pump still works. So electronics wise, things seem pretty good.
First race I ever went to, the crowd so loud, hundreds of hours in the garage, sweat and pride, my super gleamed like a comet, ready to ride, but Joe clipped me, spun me out, dreams collide, yeah, metal bent, but my heart won't break, cash in hand, the crew said no mistake, yeah, we'll rebuild the dream, we'll run a six, turn the wreck into fire with some rats, strengths the community's clutch, they lift you up, one shot at glory, fill the cup, rebuild the dream, we'll run a six, turn the wreck into fire with some rats, strengths the community's clutch, they lift you up, one shot at glory, fill the cup. Joel came through, said, hey man, we fix what we wreck, oil stained hands turning wrenches, respect, she's not just a car, she's the fight in my chest, this Supra's got spirit, it's not late to rest, sparks fly in the night like shooting stars, the dream's not dead, it's just got scars, we're chasing seconds, chasing speed, fueling a hope with grit and need, to rebuild the dream, we'll run a six, turn the wreck into fire with some rats, tricks the community's clutch, they lift you up, one shot at glory, fill the cup, rebuild the dream, we'll run a six, turn the wreck into fire with some rats, tricks the community's clutch, they lift you up, one shot at glory, fill the cup, 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 one shot at glory, fill the cup.
Trying to make our suspension suspend again. So I got this thing torn apart. Can see a little bit more of what's going on, but this frame rail is definitely way up. This one, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what happened, but frame machines should be able to figure it out. This whole side doesn't actually look too bad. This side, something definitely moved. This is a little lower. The engine is out. I haven't really looked too far into it, but I gotta take the fuel system apart at least and get the methanol out so I don't have to buy more parts that I shouldn't have to. But just first glance, it looks fine. There's really nothing messed up on it. The front plate was a little bent right here, but I'll probably just end up getting a new one. Alternator makes some weird noise, but I think there might be a piece of belt in it somewhere. New crank pulley. Otherwise, it's not too terrible. Exhaust manifold might have gotten tweaked a bit, but it's not a big deal. Should hopefully use that. Next week, we'll get it to a local frame machine body shop. The turbo is already in my truck, taking it home, but this is the worst of it here, which is the part that, you know, we welded on for the clamps. Precision was also nice enough to send me an arm-aid just to get it sent back and checked out. Got my wiring back here, which all looks pretty good, a little charred, you know, stuff like that. But those can be replaced. I think the actual harness is fine just about everywhere. So that's pretty good. I managed to damage one of the connectors somewhere here. Oh yeah, that guy, which I think was my own fault. So I'm really pissed at myself for that, but it'll have to get fixed. So off to the body shop we go. I'm gonna put it on the frame machine, get an opinion, and see if they can pull some stuff out. Just don't scratch it, especially not this side, alright?
Drag car? What did you do? Did someone wreck you?
Somebody crashed into me at the drag strip.
Really? Damn, was this yours?
Yeah.
Damn. Pretty nice. I know what it is.
Thanks. My idea or plans with it is not to put it 100% factory up front. So my hope is to like cut the front end off like right here and tube.
Be your best bet.
I was gonna say your tube chassis is gonna be you.
Yeah, so I want to tube it from like here up. So if we can confirm like the rails from here back are good or straighten them, then the rest of it I can deal with.
From the beginning.
What's that?
Surprised you didn't get too funny from the beginning.
I mean, I bought the car like that and I wasn't about to redo it, all of it. I already had enough work to do, so.
Pictures out, get the measuring system.
So how does this work? What do you guys actually do?
You put it on them clamps down there on the floor, and you'll take this tool in the back here. You take that, it's a laser head, and you put it on that rack, and center it, and follow the specs.
So this machine measures it with a laser and tells you what went where and what moved.
Yep. And they usually got
Actually, it don't even, this one ain't the laser. So this arm, this thing articulates and swings and lifts. So this can tell you a certain point. Like you can just go to a point, put it in that bolt hole. It'll have, you pull it up on this computer screen right here, you'll have selected areas.
Like this car, you're
Yeah, so it'll pull this car up, factory specs and everything. And then you'll,
give you a readout. This is something
something
different.
similar.
Yeah, you'll go and center it.
Okay, so
after you
it
get
just
it
goes off
centered-
the frame rails, or what does it reference normally?
It'll give you points. Every car is different, but it'll give
Okay.
you points in the center of the vehicle that are your centering points, and then you just work your way out from there.
So if like this car, for example, the tunnel's cut out and there's some bars, so you could just use different
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, see all
Yeah,
these
but-
little dots right here? These are all points that you could measure from.
That like Toyota gave
And
you
they're-
guys or
yeah,
whatever
they're-
provides.
Well, it'll be in the database that you
Gotcha.
can measure sideways or you can measure up and down.
Okay,
So all we can do is find the points that are available.
gotcha.
Some cars have more.
From looking at this, you think it's possible to get it back straight?
Just have to see how bad it is. But
What are your thoughts on the side? Like the rocker there? Because I've been starting to look for a quarter panel. I don't know much about body work, but is it easier to just cut that, replace it?
absolutely.
Okay, so I'll keep looking for that.
Yep. And the problem with the rockers is they usually have some kind of inner structure.
Yeah,
But if it's just going to be a race car and never be put back on the road, you can do things differently than a car that's driven on the street.
all right, well I dropped it off They're gonna hook it up to the machine, measure everything, get back to me tomorrow and see how messed up it is. But the frame rails are definitely up. The passenger side is way worse. So we'll see what they can do and what they can recommend, and we'll go from there.
This rail's not in the spot it's supposed to be in.
Yeah, you need at least one good rail.
I need at least something, one to compare it to. If we could do comparative measuring, I could bring the system over here. Boom, I know this is where this should be. And tell the computer that, it'll go over there and tell you what is up with this, if it was up or down compared to this. Now, I can still tell you if it was up or down compared to this, but obviously we can tell that by looking at it. So, he said, with it being something, you know, race car like that, you know, modified and stuff, we'll never get an actual accurate measuring to print out on a paper that you can look at and tell really what is going on. And at this point,
All it is eyeballs and
all it
opinions.
is eyeballs or old school plumb bobs and stuff, you know, but you're past that on this front end. Like, we can maybe do it with some of the rear and stuff like that. This front end is so twisted up.
But yeah, I guess, you know, that's
Yeah.
that's a reasonable amount of money to try it. And
Just give it a go.
even
and
if
see
you
what
do it
happens.
and then at the end of the day I'm like, screw this car and scrap it, I'm not gonna cry over that much money, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you're good with it, we'll do it.
Okay.
Give it a go.
And we'll go from there, and then
go
if
from there.
the body shop or the... So I'm just leaving the body shop now that's got my car in the frame machine, and I recorded a lot, and it's a lot of talking. I don't know how much of it I'm going to put in, but basically where we landed after I dropped it off and they took a look at it was originally they were a little hesitant because the frame machine uses points and a laser system to measure OEM points, but because the car's been modified and a lot of the points aren't there, and then there's no pictures of them because it's an older car. And long story short, they weren't that confident in, you know, that laser system to do it right. But we decided to, you know, use some old school methods, measure it, compare some numbers to, you know, an OEM car, and get it as close as they can. You know, the goal is to have it straight after the strut towers because that's probably going to get cut off anyways. So that's what we're going with, and it's, you know, they're helping me out a lot, so it's worth it for me just to even give it a shot with them and, you know, get it as best as I can until you know, the next chassis shop can do the rest. Well, I'm back at the body shop taking a look at some progress. It's been pulling this side out a little bit, and then the front end looks a whole lot better, fairly straight. We had some OEM fenders and hood that I dropped off. I laid those on there, and the gaps are surprisingly not terrible. But again, most of this is going to get cut off, so our goal is to just get it from about here back as straight as we can. Well, loaded it up in the trailer after the frame machine. Didn't really film too much loading it up, but this is where we ended up. So they cut that out to pull this. This should be ready for a body shop to cut the quarter and replace the rocker with it. And as for the front end, it's pretty much straight from the strut towers back. So here back they got it straight. Even up here it's pretty straight. I think this one's still a little bit off, but again, that's all going to get cut off and replaced. But overall, for what they charged me and the help they gave me, I'm very appreciative, and this is a lot better than when I sent it to them. Don't mind my big coat, it's pretty cold here today, but the next step after this is going to be picking and selecting a chassis shop that specializes in, you know, race cars, and they're gonna chop the front end and tube it. Probably gonna update the cage for 650s, and I have one in mind and probably gonna go there, but we'll save that for the next video. In the meantime, I need to collect a couple more body panels I'm gonna see what all they want me to take out of the interior, like the rest of the harness or the dash, just to keep that stuff safe. And then we'll plan for a time to take it to the chassis shop and do the next steps.